Hi, my name is Justin Reed and I have FSHD.
My name's Scott Patterson and I have FSHD.
I am Tanya Spagnolini and I have FSHD.
I'm David Bradley and I have FSHD.
Facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy, or otherwise known as FSHD, is caused by a mutation on chromosome 4, which leads to the aberrant expression of a gene called DUX4.
FSHD, for me, is muscle waste, obviously, but it's a slow closing down of horizons.
FSHD is a disease which eats away your muscles, slowly but surely.
Well, I could certainly say that there seems to be a sporadic nature to the disease, that we know that it doesn't seem to switch on in every single muscle cell as it forms a muscle fibre. There seems to be a sort of a sporadic nature. Sometimes it switches on and other times it doesn't. And I don't think the reason for that is completely understood. I don't think it's understood even why it affects the face or the upper arms first and then progresses to the lower limbs. It's not clearly understood.
Okay, when I was about 16, my scapula became to wing, which means it was protruding, came out, which in turn made the shoulder drop. And it just became worse. And I was always on the internet looking for someone or something that could help because there was nothing around. And then I found that there could be an operation called a scapulothoracic fusion, which means that the scapula becomes fused to the rib cage, in turn fixing them down and the shoulders then pop up. So I went and I had it done. I did both shoulders, and so now they're fused and they don't move, but they don't droop. There was a lot of pain involved, and I can now move my arms. I don't know if I could have moved them if I had the scapular winging. I might not have been able to raise my hand at all.
It's been weakening my muscles for around 25 years, since I was in my late teens. I guess over time I've had one of my legs weakened quite early, in my early 20s, and then over the years, bit by bit, my legs and arms have been weakening, ankles and joints and shoulders and pecs. So I suppose it goes in plateaus, and where you're weaker in one area, you're compensating with other limbs.
Some of the things I've had struggles with is putting my hands above my head with my shoulder problem. The last few years I've had the foot drop, where it's been a struggle to run and exercise. Some of the other things is that just niggling pains and agony that doctors can't explain, and they've said it's all part of the FSHD symptoms.
Yeah, as you know, the progressive nature of FSH means that I'm constantly learning new ways to do things that are like everyone else just does. That's actually a hard process to go through, because that's when you have a concrete sense of loss, that now I can't do that anymore. And that's hard, but essentially no one's coming to rescue you, so you have to find a new way of doing it.
Probably a few months ago now is the fact that, trying to climb upstairs, carrying my son upstairs to bed, fell backwards probably off the fourth step, and all I thought about was his safety. And then it was just, when I fell, I injured my arm on the coffee table, and I don't know whether it was just the pain from that or the embarrassment of, not being able to do something so simple as carry your child to bed, just really hit home. And so luckily I've got a very supportive wife who's stayed there with me and understood that what I was going through, and she still does to this day.
An example of the way I have adapted with the muscle wasting is I'm not able to smile anymore. So instead of smiling, I chuckle. So I go, ha 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 ha. And that's the way I smile. And my eyes get very teary. The muscles in my eyes are very lax. So I tear all the time. People think I'm crying. I'm actually not crying. They just tear on their own because I don't close properly. So I'm forever with tissues. And Kleenex want to give me some tissues.
I used to brush my teeth by sitting up with an electric toothbrush, and that worked well. But now I sort of lie down onto the table and support my arms on the table. I can do it, but it's really messy. Yeah, so I make a mess, but I still get the job done. And that's, at the end of the day, what it's about. I'm still independent, just not as pretty. Yeah. My wasting means that I'm in a wheelchair all the time. I can't leave the house, or I really do much on my own. I can, use a phone or an iPad, feed myself, sort of. It's a sort of process of gymnastics when I'm feeding myself. But I get there in the end. So, and I have to be careful all the time, not to lose my balance and fall and get stuck. That can happen. And then I'm like stuck for 3 hours in the one spot till the carer arrives. So there's a constant awareness of be careful, don't fall. Yeah.
I think it's essential that funding keeps coming in and is strengthened all the time, because it's so important to have not just what we're doing, which is to looking directly for new drugs, but also to find out what are the causes, to really understand the root cause of the disease, and to not just have our efforts, but to have worldwide efforts to try and find other drugs. So the more laboratories that are involved in this process, the more likely it is that this disease is going to find a cure rapidly.
If I had a day of pure health, I'd take my daughter skiing and go on the slopes, and we'd both go skiing because she's healthy. I had her through IVF, so she has not got the disease. I have the disease, but I would get on the slopes and I would just be free skiing, and it would be beautiful. It would be the best thing ever.
Their mission is to find a cure. That's the end result. And it's something that I really feel as though this organisation can do that. They've got the drive and the ability to be able to, and the knowledge and the contacts to be able to try and find that cure.
I think the tasks that FSHD Global, this Australian organisation, the commitment that has been generated through this particular organisation is fantastic, because of the way that it's structured. Every single dollar that has been contributed by all of the people who contributed over the years goes directly into our research, and it's transformed our research. It's brought in people that wouldn't have otherwise been involved in this type of work. And this work that we are generating right now is going to have a global impact on the disease, and that's a uniquely Australian-driven venture.
I'm sharing my story because it's something I can do to help FSHD Global in their work. Having muscular dystrophy means that often I can't be actively involved, but so any chance I get to do something and be involved, I jump on. So yeah, makes me feel like I'm being involved and contributing.